let's talk about two quarterbacks here. Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. We'll start with Lamar Jackson first. Now, I think it was my first week or second week of doing this podcast. I did a segment where I talked about Lamar Jackson not being labeled top 10. Bernard Pollard, former Raven, saying they were going on in the offseason about Lamar not getting paid, not getting the contract that he wanted. And by the way, Lamar is his own agent. I think it's him and his mother, or him and his family. So he does not have an agent. Everything he does is negotiated internally by himself and his family, which I think is that's good for him if he can get the deals that he wants. That's very interesting. Most people can't do that. But taking a look, I always thought Lamar was top 10. Now, I understand the season's early, and Lamar Jackson has had a lot of success in the regular season. There's no doubt about that. A lot of people have just wanted him to do better in the playoffs, and we haven't seen that yet. I think the Ravens will be in the playoffs this year. I predicted them to be. And they could very well win their division, or they could be a wild card at least. But let's take a look at Lamar's stats. He's 56 of 88. 63.6 completion percentage, 749 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's got 26 rushing attempts, 243 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And one of those rushes being, I think it was a 70-plus yard run for a touchdown. It was very crazy. So, Lamar's playing very well. And to think that the Ravens couldn't reach an agreement to pay him is unfortunate because, you take a look. In my eyes, there's guys that have it and guys that don't. I know Lamar has struggled in the playoffs early. I know that. But the guy he's too talented, too good. He's improving in the passing game so far this season. He's doing what he can do on the ground. They're throwing the ball, I would say, a lot more than they have in the past, and he's doing quite well. Besides not having a ton of weapons other than Mark Andrews, he's got other guys on the outside that are, number 2, number 3 type receivers. But, the guy's taking over. He's playing well. And this really reminds me of a young Cam Newton's career where, Cam, his first 1 or 2 playoff appearances, didn't really do all that hot. There were some results to be desired, and he wanted that new contract extension. And the Panthers obviously paid him. And then coming in the next season or two, he was MVP, and they went to the Super Bowl that year. And I just think the potential, what you're already seeing, is already enough to label Lamar Jackson, to me, a top 10 quarterback. And, if they think about not paying the guy, where else are you really going to look? Because there's only certain guys that can get you to where you need to be, or even have a chance to get you to where you need to be. Are they just going to draft a quarterback next year? They're not going to finish bad enough to do that, to draft one of the top prospects in the draft. What else are they really going to go with? I know he struggled in the playoffs, but at the same time, so has Aaron Rodgers. He struggled a lot in the playoffs. I know Aaron Rodgers is a way better passer of the football and a way better pure quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but he's only got 1 ring. He should have multiple. Lamar Jackson is doing everything he can in the passing game and more in the running game, and he's getting not really getting a pass. I think this season, they will make the playoffs, and I think Lamar has got to win some games, at least one, to really convince people he's worthy of that money. But at the end of the day, if the Ravens don't sign him, what else are they going to do? Who are their other options? I guarantee they won't be able to find a better option quickly other than Lamar Jackson, because the next team he would go to, he would instantly make that team much better. And I think it would be a huge mistake if the Ravens don't pay him. I think they will. As a matter of fact, I know they will. They're going to pay this kid, and he deserves all the money. He's playing very well. I hope he keeps it up, and I want to see what he can do in the playoffs because I'm a big fan. I like Lamar. So let's move on to Jalen Hurts here. I have, not on this show, but, just watching his games and watching him in college and watching him last year in the NFL, I've been critical of Jalen Hurts. I think that he is incredibly athletic. He's a great athlete. There's no doubt about that. He does have a big arm, but he has struggled with accuracy in a lot of the games I've watched. In last season, his rookie year, obviously the Eagles did go to the playoffs. I never really bought into the idea of Jalen Hurts being the franchise guy. I thought he was one of those guys that could do some nice things, and just enough to make you say, maybe he is that guy. We're not sure, maybe. But this season so far, I know it's only been a couple games. Let's take a look at the stats. 66 for 98, 67.3 completion percentage, 916 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's got 37 rushing attempts for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Also, did I mention the Eagles are undefeated? They're 3-0. So, he's so far, he has shown improvement in the passing game, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. The Eagles, they've got weapons. They've got A.J. Brown. They've got guys on the outside. They have a solid offensive line. They have a solid running game. They have Devonta Smith as well. They've got weapons. They put weapons around this kid. They really tried to, hey, we're going to see if you're the guy. We're going to give you some guys to throw the ball to so we can determine if you are that guy. And right now, Jalen Hurts is playing well. He is. Now, I'm not ready to crown him yet. I need to see more. I want to see it done in the playoffs as well because that's important. But I want to see if he can keep this up for the regular season. However, so far, I've liked what I've seen from Jalen Hurts. I've been pleasantly surprised. And, a guy that was, drafted a little bit later. I'm not sure what round. Was it second or third round? I can't honestly remember. But, no one really hyped this guy up in a draft class previously that was flooded with talent. And he's playing better or just as well as anyone from that class. So, shout out to Jalen Hurts. He's doing well. I hope he can keep it up. I think the Eagles are a very good team. And, I don't think anyone expected him to get off to this hot of a start. Let's see if he can keep it going. I think that will be to be seen, but I am rooting for him.